It's finally arrived. Opening day in the USL Championship. This game is presented by Hoag, the official healthcare partner of Orange County SC. Gnarly brings fans through the gate, but the players on the field, the ones that'll get them out of their seats. Oakland Roots away to Orange County. And with Eric Dobransky, Mike Watts, happy to have you along. Now, we leave this Orange County side last year disappointed. Danny Stone's team, well, he was the interim, performed so well, and yet out in the playoffs. Not a surprise he's back. Not a surprise this team thinks they can do damage.
Yeah, ended the 2024 campaign with an 8-game unbeaten streak, positioning themselves as one of the hottest teams in the USL Championship, entering the playoffs. Felt like they were a team that could beat anyone and a team that opponents didn't want to play, so they are hoping to parlay that experience towards the end of the season into this 2025 year.
Now, both teams have made a lot of moves. Here's a couple of the key additions for Orange County. Liam McKinnon unavailable for selection today, but Brewitt is going to wear the captain's armband.
Yeah, huge performances defensively for Orange County SC, and obviously you add a player like Tom Brewitt, and then you add some attacking players that not only add depth to those positions, but some multi-dimensional qualities that'll just strengthen that area as well.
And then you bring back your goalkeeper. Our player to watch is presented by Layuna Local 652. Shuttler's back.
Yeah, he just brings so much balance and composure within the defensive third. His communication, his command and presence within the 18-yard box. 11 clean sheets, 98 saves last year. Those saves were second in the USL Championship.
Conversely, Oakland sees some major players depart, including Paul Blanchette, their goalkeeper. But in comes Kendall McIntosh and some guys you may know. Gibson will wear the captain's armband. Jurgen Dahm not available yet, but one of the fastest men to ever play this game.
And such a blend of additions for Oakland Roots and Gavin Glinton's side. I mean, obviously, Panos Armanakis headlines the new arrivals, that attacking pedigree, that versatility, trying to fill in what Johnny Rodriguez, that void that Johnny Rodriguez leaves.
Yeah, to that point, it's an Oakland team that in moments found plenty of goals in 2024, but it was inconsistent. And Gavin Glinton gets the full-time job after a 500 record last year, took over in April. Let's see how they turn it.
Yeah, it's a team that sputtered towards the end of the season. Now they're going to be looking for sustainability, consistency. They were a team that towards mid-season, they were in the top 4, and then they finished in that 7th position in the West.
And no team the Roots have seen more often all time than Orange County. What a way to start the year. A Californian derby from the Bay Area all the way to Orange County. We've waited long enough. Two sides with major ambition, aspirations. Orange County and Oakland take the field. It is the season opener, and it's presented by Hoag. Lineups and kickoff coming up.
At the Pickup Family Neurosciences Institute, we function as a unit. Neurosurgery and neurology, physical medicine and rehab, physical therapy. It's patient-focused, patient-centered care. The future of the neurosciences at Hoag is filled with promise. We are at the cusp of incredible advancements and innovations that are truly going to transform medical care and its delivery. Patients don't just get a doctor when they come to Hoag, they get Team Hoag.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
RAV4 hybrid shoppers, listen up. You're paying more and getting less. The all-new Mazda CX-50 Hybrid packs the same Toyota trusted hybrid powertrain, but delivers premium performance and more luxury. Why pay RAV4 prices when you get more with the CX-50 Hybrid? And while Toyota dealers struggle with inventory, we have CX-50 Hybrids in stock now at Tustin Mazda. Better tech, better value. Skip the wait. Buy a Mazda CX-50 Hybrid now at Tustin Mazda. Think hybrid, think Mazda.
Season is first as the full-time head coach. There are some new names in here, including Pruitt and Duty in the back line.
There is two defenders that are going to anchor this back line in front of Colin Shuttler. Look for the structure for this Orange County SC team that really carried them through the final 8 games. And Danny Stone's side, Ethan Zubak, leading goal scorer from last year with 11 goals. They're up top with Cameron Dunbar. They're going to be a handful for Oakland Roots.
Speaking of the Roots, looking for back-to-back season opening wins for the first time. There are a lot of new names here, but guys like Kai Green have been around the block previously with the Roots. He's out in front of McIntosh. They'll try and slow this OC side down.
And then a midfield of Armanakis and Gibson. Tyler Gibson, we talk about the additions, the experience, the leadership, the ability to set the tempo, screen passes, and then initiate attacks is going to be so important for Oakland Roots.
Orange County knocked out in the conference semifinal at Colorado Springs. Oakland Roots, the 7th place team, knocked out by the Switchbacks in the opening round. No time like the present for these teams to make a statement and begin the campaign on the right foot. Katerina Koroleva, the opening whistle. And here we go, kickoff 2025. Orange County is hosting the Oakland Roots. Is this the beginning of a championship caliber campaign? Time will tell, but both sides truly believe they can get that job done. With Eric Dobransky, Mike Watts, happy to kick it off with you, pal. Let's do it.
Exciting times, and to your point, I think for Orange County SC and Danny Stone, it's about not only making the playoffs, but now proving that they're a title contender. Feeling really good about how they ended 2024. Took the Colorado Springs Switchbacks to extra time. Eventual champions, now earning an early free kick.
Chris Hagart stands over the ball for Orange County in a dangerous position, trying to set up the perfect opening salvo. Hagart chips across. This header goes up above McIntosh, and a good chance for us to look at tonight's keys to the game. They're presented by Patterson Auto. Orange County wants to be clinical tonight.
Yeah, when you create those chances, really value that final moment, whether it's that final entry pass or that moment in front of frame. And for Oakland, set the pace and do that on both sides of the ball. Make sure that defensively, you're only allowing Orange County to access the space that you're okay with. And then offensively, can you turn some of those, the recuperation of the ball to some progressive passes forward, breaking lines, and quick outlets.
Ball knocked down by Dunbar. Dunbar on the other end, however, this stretches beyond his reach, and Riley jams it out of play. Riley scored the last time these teams met, a 2-0 Oakland win here in Irvine back on June the 29th. Scott now wears the number 6 for this Orange County team. Will aptly play the position tonight. Among the key returners for Orange County, both these sides lost just huge names over the offseason. Oakland, Memo Diaz, Paul Blanchette, the goalkeeper. Kyle Logue started so many games a year ago. Brian Tamakis at outside back had been in and out. Nader Cherry had seen moments up front. Dom Dwyer the same, but they never quite got the production they wanted out of that group. And no time like the present to get that first yellow card of the season and rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, that's really early to pick up a yellow. We got quite a bit of time here to navigate the rest of this match.
And Gibson picks up the early card. Captains the side after 3 years in Louisville and last year playing for Indy 11. We talked with Gavin Glinton. Those are some historic names for this Roots club. Said Gibson among the guys who's really stepped into a leadership role right off the bat. That's no surprise if you've followed his career.
And that was going to be so important for Gavin Glinton and his side, was that character, that humility was so important to what they were building. So now Orange County concedes a corner.
First full season for Glinton, 46 years old, 4th year with the Roots. He's named the interim on April the 28th. The team 11-11, 4 draws. But he did say the interim tag, sometimes you can't always do what you want to do. Meanwhile, there's Danny Stone, took over a little closer to the midway point of the season, named August 29th, which was exactly 2 months after he had been let go in Phoenix. This ball up and away, nothing to do on the corner.
And you talk about the key additions and then see the key departures. These are 2 teams that, and 2 head coaches that have now had a full preseason with their respective clubs. And that's something that I think when we all take a look at the West, where do you kind of see the overall identity and the structure of some of these teams? And Gavin Clinton brought up a great point in our call with him, was James Chambers is really the only returning head coach in the West.
Who had been there since the end of 2023, and even then he was an assistant transitioning over to the head coaching role. So in a way you could say the old guys in the room are Gavin Glinton with Oakland, having spent time as an assistant there, and yes, James Chambers, the reigning champion head coach at Colorado Springs. It's wild.
And it just adds to how wild the West was last year. I mean, the New Mexico United finishing top the West. The finish for Orange County SC, but and then Oakland, the season that they had that run where towards the top 4 of the West, and just couldn't seem to get the results towards the end of the season, and saw themselves fall to the 7th spot.
Here's Scott. Huge skip up off the grass, but found Grayson Duty in from Las Vegas. Had one of the great turnarounds in league history. This knocked away from Dunbar. A look at the injury report from Zulfagari Law. Orange County did not officially report any, but Liam McKinnon was questionable and will not play tonight. The reigning League One Player of the Year. Julian Bravo among the missing players for Oakland, perhaps the biggest omission for fans of the club. Neville Hackshaw unable to start the season. Jurgen Dahm, the big ticket acquisition who had spent so much time at Tigres, part of that Mexican team of the decade down there, unavailable for selection today as well. You know, it's funny, you talk to coaches, and you've been in this seat, right? Coming out of the college game especially, where you have perhaps even less information available to you. But what are you going to see on opening day? I don't know. Here's Dunbar. Dunbar playing early, nobody home, and that is a regrettable chest over the line from Abdi Muhammad. And a corner handed to Orange County.
Yeah, not only you don't know what you're going to see on opening weekend, but you're going to assume that these teams are going to continue to evolve. I mean, you mentioned the players that are missing just tonight. I mean, how do you begin to integrate them into not only the system, but obviously the relationships that you need to have throughout the field and the structure you want to play with?
Scott drives, bounces wide. Feels that got touched, but it'll be a McIntosh goal kick. But it's systems, and look, maybe you know a handful of players, right, in college that maybe you recruited a freshman and they chose to go to another school and you run into them. At least you know their profile. Talking with Danny Stone, at least he felt like he knew a lot of these Roots profiles. but then you can't really plan for Bravo, Dom, and Hackshaw not making the trip. 2 players on academy contracts just signed in the last 24 hours officially, part of the Roots team tonight.
And that's why when you do talk to the coaches and you get a feel for what they expect to see, not only just in opening weekend, but just match to match, the focus is so much on what they want to do, how they want to accomplish, and how they want to accomplish it. And I think that's what these 2 teams are going to be looking for opening weekend is can they kind of build onto those theories, those philosophies, the identity that they've implemented throughout preseason, throughout their preseason matches, and continue to stack performances. I think that's the most important piece of it is you don't necessarily make the playoffs in the first weekend, but you want to make sure you're stacking performances and feeling good about where your team is trending.
Decent ball into the penalty area, but Oakland swarms. Scott turned away by Armanakis and shaped back. Brewitt wearing the mask, wears the captain's armband and does so despite having taken an apparent knock to the face in the lead up to all this. Nico Benalcazar, the 23-year-old former FC Cincinnati 2 player, his partner in the back. You know, it's funny, history will see the lineups that were projected on people's screens as potential opening day gospel, but the reality is this is what the teams submit. So Benalcazar enjoyed several phantom minutes of playing central attacking midfield, which is every center back's dream.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he was asking why it couldn't have come to reality, and
I'm sure there's a reason.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he will admit that there was a reason. Here's Benalcazar, played the U.S. under-16s to the 20s, Connecticut native who came out of New York City's academy. Ball sent down the line, cut inside. McIntosh the save, and cleared away. Guimaraes, who had a huge offseason within the U.S. national team, playing at the under-17 CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. A real chance for Orange County. Good moment for Kendall McIntosh.
Yeah, first loud opportunity of the match. McIntosh up to the task, keeping this game at 0-0.
Riley clears. I mean, McIntosh has been around the block a bit. Unfortunate, to say the least, in San Antonio last year. Started 9 games, lost 7. Armanakis works the give and go toward the end line. Sliced back by Sinistera, but it cleared the line. Let's go back to the chance on the other end.
Yeah, good creativity, good freedom, good fluidity from Orange County, just not connecting with this as well as he wanted to. McIntosh reads that slightest of deflections and carries that ball away from danger. And a good start from Orange County, the ability to not only find themselves high and wide with those outside backs and create those numerical advantages out in those wide areas, but the ability to link up and be creative and be dynamic in that movement.
I feel like Peter Nugent and this Orange County Brain Trust has found another really good young player here, Guimaraes. They have done an outstanding job over the last few years of bringing players into Orange County and giving them a one-way ticket to Europe in the process. Scott carries. Hagart's available. Ball layered across. Leaping through Muhammad. Struck ahead. Rasmussen on the run. Rasmussen squares up, leans back. Al-Masnawi, just his second career start in the championship. 6 games a year ago, only featured in 139 minutes. Big role for him today. Sinisterra went for goal. That got blocked. Back to his feet. Gobbled up by Scott.
Both teams exchanging attacking threats. Oakland starting to find their footing, starting to find their outlet. A tremendous ball played into Rasmussen.
Duty provides an option wide. Started the Western Conference final with Phoenix last year. Grew up playing on the fields outside this championship soccer stadium here in Irvine and gets the chance to come back home. Starred at UCLA, selected by Montreal in the first round of last year's MLS Super Draft. His option declined after spending much of that season on loan in Vegas. And now he's the starting outside back for his hometown club. Quarter hour gone in this season opening match. So we welcome you to the 2025 USL kickoff presented by Terminix. Throughout the month of March, the USL will be kicking off across the country. Join us for all the action on ESPN and CBS Sports platforms. Great game earlier tonight. Borderline can't believe that they placed it on opening day. This was a gift from the scheduling gods. Charleston and Louisville City finished 2-1 to Louisville. Serrano and Perez the goals. Charleston, an unfortunate red card to say the least. Blue City picks up where they left off last year as the reigning Shield winner. Vegas, Tampa Bay kicking off in a matter of minutes. There's one on opening day that's got a lot of eyebrows raised.
Lexington winning there.
What a goal in that game.
Joe Hafferty.
Woo. Those Vegas castaways are off and running, huh?
Scoring the first goal of the USL Championship season, man. What a goal it was.
It might be the goal of the year. Half volley, first time, 30-yard missile, upper 90.
Dream start for a Lexington SC side that is in the Western Conference.
Yeah, somehow. The hold-up play was good from Zuback to start this. The clearance by Riley half-hearted. And this is not quite at the level that Joe Hafferty had set from the opening game of the season, off the mark. Lexington never made the playoffs in League One. They come into the championship. If you didn't know any better, you'd think they're spending like drunken sailors at the outset, but I mean, some really clever moves. Orange County will see Lexington right here next Saturday night for a 7:30 kickoff.
And it's going to be fascinating how the key additions amongst all these teams in the West. I mean, you just go you look at them, and obviously we're all wondering how Las Vegas Lights are going to follow up their 2024 campaign. You know, Colorado Springs Switchbacks win the title, but you lose Speedy Williams, who obviously has gone to that Lexington SC side. And then, you know, you have a couple teams that are sitting there for it to all collectively come together as well.
Of course, Cameron Lancaster's on that Lexington team that's coming here next week, the former record holder for goals in a year. Dunbar crossing, settled at the spot, turning and firing. That got sent out toward the halfway line. Longman way forward. Of course, the only way to ensure that you're here for all the action in 2025 is by joining the season ticket holder family. Exclusive gifts, benefits, access to the best seats in the house. Get yours today, orangecountysoccer.com/season-tickets. Once you're done selling tickets for the season opener, we can say the best game next is the next game, yeah. Nice crowd. Gnarly's Village in the corner is a new addition to the venue. I'm a little terrified at how that plays out.
It's like the place to be.
Yeah. Riley back, Babacar Njai. The cleanest of clearances there, but now Oakland's made it look pretty good. Njai looks like he, every stride, gains an extra yard. Really fun when he gets up and down. El Masnawi.
Looked like they had him bottled up, but he was able to get out of that space. And you gotta like what Oakland is doing in terms of being able to navigate this spell from Orange County and now getting themselves on the ball. And it started with a few quick transition moments and now has built into some sustainable moments on the ball. As I say that, that ball gets away from in the build.
And this goes back to Orange County. Yeah, Zuback providing that more than nominal pressure. Moraes to toss in. Here's Brewitt. Liverpudlian for about a decade. He was with the Reds. Captain and FA Youth Cup champion team for Liverpool. Came to the U.S. after struggling through the 4th and 5th English divisions. Went to Tacoma first, then Hartford. He had some fairly bright moments.
Over 60 USL Championship appearances. And I think that's something where you have those new additions, you bring in that blend of experience. Obviously you want quality, but you have that leadership and that ability to
Stara sends this out of play.
To add players that bring that balance to your roster and talk about the length of the season and some of the schedule congestion and the travel that you'll see. That depth is so important, that ability to be available is something that they're going to lean into throughout the season.
There's Gnarlyville in the background. Gnarly's never done anything to me that would make me think he's not a cool guy. But, you know, starts eyeballing you when he takes off those sunglasses, and I don't know. I've had some, no pun intended, gnarly experiences with mascots. It's actually a source of grave trauma. Noted that you laughed.
Yeah. Just like the name, and it's quite the mascot. And I think for right now, the fans and Gnarly's Corner are going to enjoy the tempo that Orange County is setting. And
good turn, Eric.
Yeah, going to go back to football.
Yeah,
I haven't had the experiences that you've had with mascots, apparently.
That's right.
So can't relate to the trauma.
Past the midway point of the first half, it so often can feel disjointed. It doesn't really feel that.
No, and I think for Orange County, they've got to be pleased with collectively hunting dangerous spaces going forward. You can see a lot of it is collective. For Oakland, talked about their ability to build into this match, and that they have done with some of those outlets that transition to Rasmussen. But now they are starting to build it where they're having some players higher up the field that are able to connect and set some of that tempo, really disorganize and ask different questions of Orange County.
Ball tipped right into the path of Danny Gomez. See if Oakland can start to build here. You can hear some of the traveling route support. They'll start with a couple games here on the road. They'll go to Monterey Bay. Not a long trip for them next Saturday. Then they'll get their first 3 games at the Oakland Coliseum, their new home for this year. Here's Mohammed. Sinistera wanted it high, but it never got there. We spoke with Gavin Glinton a bit about it. He said, I'm excited to coach in it. I'm excited for the players to play in it, for the fans to come back to the Coliseum. Said it gives him chills thinking about the Oakland sports history there. Gavin Glinton, ecstatic to be a part of a club that he speaks so glowingly about their impact in the community. Certainly a club that he wants to see take the next step on the field as well. 5 players from Oakland, 10 in totality, including the academy deals, come through the Project 510, which is essentially their academy.
It's just a club and an organization, and
Shuttler had to get that away, and Sinistera at least gave everyone a bit of a heart palpitation.
that just
They've always had a bigger mission.
Yeah, and it's just incredible what they've been able to do, not even just within the organization, but within the community. And going to the Coliseum, it just almost feels right that, you know, they're going to bring Oakland fans back in, and it's going to be something special. And the way that they've blended the community within their roster too, where they've really brought in players that mean something to them, and that's something special to watch.
Just bouncing through, and McIntosh, an Oakland native, sends this away. Look, you can say the same thing about Orange County over the years. Certainly the Olaskis from this area, but Grayson Duty gets to come home. Cameron Dunbar from Carson up in LA. Ethan Zubak came through the Galaxy Academy. A lot of players from Southern California that proudly say they're wearing home colors. Tucks inside to Zubak. A little explosion toward the end line. Oakland's got it now. Clearance out to the halfway line, got cut off. Ball came to Duty, but couldn't complete the interchange. And a free kick in Oakland's favor. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets, more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. So if you want those seats, join the supporters group. Join the party. Sinistera dished it off. Here's Njai making the run. Njai playing early. And there's Shuttler. Mentioned career high in saves. It's now Orange County's wins, clean sheet, and saves leader. This comes out wide. Great distribution started this. Here's Cameron Dunbar. Dunbar leaves Riley in the dust, slips ahead, across the face and goal. Tapped for the opening goal for Orange County. The first of many celebrations in 2025 here at the Champ. And Orange County is picked up right where they left off at the end of last season.
And to your point, Mike, this starts out with a tremendous outlet from Colin Shuttler. The ability to not only know the numbers and the area and the awareness to where to play this ball forward, and bravery, and then a little 1v1 here. Slipped in ball, and then Dogman there, positive, the way to climb the field, join the attack, and that goes back to what we were just talking about, the collective nature of what Orange County was doing on the ball and in the final third. Ryan Dogman getting on the end of that parried ball across the face of goal.
3 goals in 57 games the last 2 years, and he gets the first goal of 2025. You talk about climbing the field, that was his second really decent chance in this game. He's coming off that outside left side for Orange County. Gosh, that distribution causes you to salivate, doesn't it?
That's all I've been thinking about right now is just the awareness of Colin Shuttler. I mean, not only worried about fighting through the traffic, being secure, ability to see that play, and then the commitment from Orange County SC to see that out.
And which Orange County fan could forget how he started last season, the start against Sacramento and the late game tying goal from the goalkeeper. Colin Shuttler doesn't get an assist for that, but borderline felt like his. Now he's starting to feel himself, although this will run past and all the way to Kai Green.
That's a part of his game that just continues to enhance itself, and that distribution, not only with that outlet, be it that with his hands, but his ability to play with his feet.
Sinistera went for goal above Shuttler.
Aggressive nature of this turn, head up. Understanding what he wanted to do right away. Just unable to put this on frame and test Colin Shuttler.
Jose Luis Sinistera came in August, 9 appearances, 7 starts. Managed just 1 goal. The winger from Colombia, who arrived from the Paraguayan First Division. Always chirping, uber competitive. Gavin Glinton told me about Sinistera last year when he signed. Here's McIntosh. She was in San Antonio last year, the 3 years prior to that, the Sporting Kansas City organization. 31, gets to come back home, play for his hometown roots. Wrong-sided, well, everybody, but Njai was the target.
This is where you're gonna begin to see that collective nature from both groups. I mean, how do you respond from going up a goal? How do you respond from going down a goal? And this is those early tests that you'll continue to see, and still plenty of time. Where does Oakland get some of their rhythm? Who helps expedite that process for them? We've not seen a lot of Panos Armanakis on the ball. To get him going.
Here's Scott. Orange County grabbing the lead from Ryan Dogman. Meanwhile, here is Armanakis back behind Sinistera. The idea was really good. Goals all season are presented by Hogue. It is Hogue night here at the venue. The official healthcare partner of OCSC. Armanakis, caught by Shuttler. Let's go all the way back. Shuttler's distribution started everything.
Yeah, something that the Oakland Roots are going to look back on in terms of getting and hitting their spots earlier. But just the commitment from Orange County to get forward. Once that line is broken, you could just see the commitment to climb the field, be progressive, be positive with what they were doing. Ryan Dogman, as you'd mentioned, had found himself in those higher spaces several times before that goal.
On the 28th minute, doesn't get easier than that. He had done all the work. Net was empty. It is a shorter regular season this year. There's a lot of changes to the overarching format of 2025. It's lobbed in. Header knocked back. Masnawi, the back heel. Njai attacking. Finally gets cleaned off. Here's Scott. 30 games this year, plus the Jägermeister Cup is now a intra-league cup. League One teams and championship sides have been grouped together. They'll each play 4 games and set up an 8-team knockout, 8 groups, so no runners up there. It's straight up, in or out. Ball came to the top of the penalty area, and Gibson got it away. One of the really cool things about Jägermeister Cup that I actually appreciated, so the runners up, make it 6 groups, are irrelevant. It's the most goals scored get the last 2 spots. So celebrating attacking play in that cup competition. Plus, of course, the US Open Cup is back for every team in the championship in League One, and a few teams from MLS too. Someone said something as Ekaterina Koroleva ready to tell Gavin Glinton she's heard enough. That's got to be one of the earliest coaching cards I've ever seen in a season. And Gavin Glinton is one of the most mild-mannered speakers. He's very measured. He's certainly take umbrage with something.
Wanted that play to be able to continue. That pulled back, and you have Tyler Gibson and Gavin Glinton picking up first half yellow cards.
Riley got there. McIntosh sends away. That if Rasmussen threw it, furthered the defensive effort. It's over to Hagard. Looking for the most flexible way to come down to the champ in 2025? 10-ticket flex packs are just what you need. Use these 10 tickets to attend multiple games with a friend. Grab your friends and family and use all of them in one match. The choice is yours. It's flexible. Grab yours today. OrangeCountySoccer.com/flex-packs. Eric, you want to go to the game?
I'd love to, but you made me so scared and gnarly.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm perpetuating bad rumors about our great orange fuzzball mascot.
Yeah. No, I just think that there's so much excitement surrounding this Western Conference. I just think there's so many different teams that had great years last year. Do you see them continue to build on those performances, and teams that had less than stellar seasons and really revamped some of their rosters and some of their additions? And I think that's going to be some exciting pieces to watch. We're going to see a lot of intriguing matchups throughout the West. You bring up the Jägermeister Cup. It's nice to see the USL adapt to that scheduling and make that adjustment with the 4 games, so that you don't see, you're already going to see schedule congestion throughout the season, but you know, the way you can manage it, that was well done.
I mean, it is unfortunate in one way. the 24-team league is they'll stop it here. Allowed you to play 34 games and feel like you played everyone home and home, and you played everyone in the other conference once. And so it was an even-ish schedule. Maybe you got the best team on the road and the worst team at home, but at least you saw everyone in the other conference. That's going to change this year. That's Riley getting mixed up. This year, you'll only see 8 teams from the other conference. So I'm looking forward to hearing in September, October, a team that's in the Shield hunt or hanging at the 4-5 line, potentially getting a home game or not, or at the 8-9 line, getting into the playoffs or not, say, well, our strength of schedule is harder. And that's when Eric and I break out the world's tiniest violins. The schedule's the schedule, folks.
Yeah. Strength of schedule conversation. It just gives anybody.
No one played Miami 30 times. Everybody calm down. Which Miami am I talking about?
Yes.
Different question. Here's Riley. I mean, even Miami FC should be better. They added Sebastian Blanco, which is a huge name. Njai leading. El Masnawi. That is going to ping off the corner flag. And a corner for the Roots.
Battle here in the corner and able to earn a set piece and see if they can get the numbers in and around the box to something dangerous around Colin Shuttler.
Corner kicks from City Side Fiber. Armanakis. This pinballs around, drops atop the 6, and now Orange County's got it out of harm's way. Gibson was deep to keep this alive. Lobbed up again, but well over Muhammad.
Good positioning by Orange County. As you mentioned, this ball pinballs around the 18-yard box, finds its way into the 6, but Brewitt there to get that final touch out of harm's way.
You know, it's funny, in Hartford, he was actually utilized a bit as a holding midfielder, and that's where he finished the season, but you talk to Danny Stone, feel his best position and best way to help this team is at center back. That Hartford team also wasn't very good. Needed a little help in that midfield at the time. But he's got a little versatility there if need be. I added that part, not him.
And I think that's what, that last piece, the versatility, I think that's what Danny Stone was looking for when he kind of took what they accomplished in 2024 and what they wanted to accomplish in 25. Obviously the theories and the identity is still there, but they wanted some of that versatility, some of that knowledge of different positions, of different ways to play, and it's going to be something for Danny Stone and his team. And they've looked, so far, they've looked fluid on the ball, and the ability to get numbers, positive areas. You haven't seen a lot of Ethan Zubak just yet, or Cameron Dunbar, but you definitely have seen a collective attacking threat.
Here's Zenjai. Lofting early, way over Sinistera. Approaching halftime tonight in Orange County. It's of course been a tumultuous winter for so many people in the Los Angeles area. Tonight a bit of a return to normalcy, at least for the soccer fans. This is the opener of the 2025 season. Orange County's first of 30 games And the beginning here of a 3-game homestand. They'll see Lexington next Saturday night and then get their first look at Monterey Bay. It's undergone huge changes over the offseason. Jordan Stewart coming in. That group had been under Frank Yallop's leadership since the beginning of the franchise. Here's Sinistera. Scott leans back, Rasmussen chasing, comes to Kevin Partita. He's now been around the block quite a bit with this team, missed 4 months the season a year ago. Came into the group in 2025, make it 2022, so year 4 here in 2025. County shaped into one side, and there's the switch through Brewitt. Came over the championship with Harry Watling in Hartford. Was familiar with his academy coaches back in England growing up. That was part of the connection that brought him from Tacoma to the East Coast. Spent the last 2 years at Swindon Town, English League Two side. Ball swiped off El Mesnawi, but comes back for Gomez. Sinistera waiting high. All through, but too far. There's McIntosh. Stoppage time presented by Zolfagari Law Firm. 1 added minute. Fairly smooth first half.
It has been. I mean, just a couple stoppages for the 2 yellow cards that Oakland Roots have picked up. But as you mentioned, it's been pretty smooth first 45. I mean, both teams kind of feeling out the moments and the areas that they can go attack and the way that they need to defend each other. I think for Oakland, I mean, it's just about getting a hold of the ball a bit more, allowing that collective attack, allowing some of those numbers, and missing that final action. They've got to move some pieces from Orange County in the attacking third, and for Orange County, continue to get the numbers going forward, but also be cautious in some of those turnovers, because Oakland's shown the potential of being dangerous in transition.
Well, tell me if you've heard this before. Shuttler, a clean sheet at the half. And Ryan Dogman, the opening goal of the season for OCSC in the 28th minute, sees Orange County ahead of Oakland at halftime. Coming up at the break, we'll take a look at the news and notes around the USL Championship as we kick off a new campaign here in Southern California. A couple of the California clubs matching their wits on opening day, and it's Orange County with a 1-0 lead at halftime.
I'm Jay, and as founder of Omega, I understand that as a business owner, you've got a lot in your mind. Let the tax credit ninjas at Omega get you the money. It's rightfully yours. It's not too late to score big on tax credits, but you gotta act fast.
look at this dude. SPF 1000 on Justice Schnoz. That is the only piece of visible skin with all this orange fur. Gnarly, you are both a beast and my hero. Mike and Eric, the fans enjoying the occasion. We're back here for opening day in the USL Championship. But we take a look at the upcoming schedules for these two sides. It's the beginning of a new season, and that means you might see some new opponents. How about Orange County? They get Lexington and Monterey Bay at home. They'll go to Las Vegas. They're the darlings last year, but Nocerino, the former Miami coach, takes over there. And Sacramento, shockingly, under new management.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of different looks from a lot of different opponents. I mean, we talk about Lexington, their result tonight. Obviously, Gnarly and this Orange County side are going to host 4 of their first 6 matches away at Las Vegas. I think everybody's intrigued to see what Las Vegas looks like, but you're going to get a good look at what Orange County, the structure and the identity that they have within this first 6 games.
I pray that Gnarly goes to the Coliseum on April 19th. It's what the world deserves. Here's what Oakland deserves. Their next 5 games. I'll go to Monterey Bay and then that 3-game homestand. And it's not an easy one. Rhode Island runners-up in the championship final. Vegas was knocked out in the conference final, and San Antonio certainly expects to rebound.
It is, and going to be opening up the season in the Coliseum for against San Antonio. It's going to be a big night for Gavin Glinton, the organization, everybody in the community, so they're looking forward to that matchup hosting San Antonio FC.
Meanwhile, it's very possible we got the goal of the year in the championship already in match day 1. Those were about the only empty seats I could see in the first half. How about we show you the goal and the save of the year in 2024.
Worth takes it. Oh, and it's in! 17-year-old Nate Worth with a moment of brilliance as he scores for the first time in his pro career. Trying to give Loudon their first lead of the night. He takes the shot. Rodriguez with a point-blank denial in the 82nd minute, keeping Miami FC alive 2-2.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Jansen Wilson tiptoed the line. Wilson! Brilliant! End-to-end! He has been on fire in Tampa Bay! Cross forward, brought down by Gagi, the hero! Let's go!
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador, Spiked Bebidas.
Opening night for Orange County and a 1-0 lead over the Oakland Roots at halftime. Mike Watson, Eric Dobransky to walk you through tonight's action, not only here but elsewhere in the championship. Let's get you all caught up. Start with news and notes from around the championship and beyond. The national TV schedule has arrived, and the first of 35 matches will be on network television on CBS in San Antonio. They take on Phoenix Rising the weekend of the Final Four. Another game in Rhode Island, El Clamico, feature in July, and the championship final on CBS Television Network November 22nd. We spoke about Jägermeister Cup, all 38 clubs involved this time around.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, one of the tiebreakers makes it even more exciting to watch the attacking presences of all these teams involved. And then the new stadium debuts. I mean, you talked about Rhode Island being an Eastern Conference winners and then being a finalist. They opened their new stadium. Oakland Roots moved to the Coliseum, and then Lexington SC, who's in the West, they opened up their new stadium tonight with a 2-0 win over Hartford Athletics. So a lot of exciting things going on amongst the USL Championship, and excited to get into those new stadiums as well.
Well, how about we show you what went on in stadiums from coast to coast in the championship here earlier today. Mentioned Lexington starts with a victory over Hartford. We talked about it in the first half. Louisville City, Charleston. We might see that maybe November 15th in a conference final all over again. And what about Loudoun and Birmingham? That one, wow.
Yeah, you bring in Danny Trejo and Ronaldo Damas, and you're expecting something offensively, and Loudoun United getting that 3-1 victory. Detroit City at Miami FC coming up 2-0. And San Antonio looking for a massive bounce-back year after missing the playoffs in 2024. Pick up 3 points against Monterey.
Yep, first win under new management there for San Antonio. Meanwhile, here's what's coming up next weekend. The action starts at 3 Pacific when the Switchbacks meet Detroit City on ESPN+. The Golazo matches, Charleston and Rhode Island. That is a rematch of the Eastern Conference Final. Monterey Bay and Oakland will feature on the Golazo Network.
Yeah, the matchups just continue to get better. I mean, obviously you highlight that Charleston-Rhode Island matchup, but Colorado Springs, Switchbacks, and Detroit City is another big one. And then you got to assume that Birmingham Legion are going to continue to grow into rhythm with some of those attacking players. You know what Tom Sohn and his side are all about every year.
Yeah, and I won't call it bad blood. I'm not going full Taylor Swift, but I mean, there's some juice when Birmingham and Louisville meet. It is halftime here. The County Line Coalition in full force here tonight. Orange County has a 1-0 lead. We'll show you how it happened and kick off the second half after this.
Positive spaces going forward, climbed the field collectively. Saw a lot of different moments where he had a variety of different attacking opportunities, and then it starts with Colin Shuttler here. Picks up this ball, the cross forward. The ball just delays. Get this little slip ball in. And McIntosh gets this right hand on it, but just doesn't push it far enough. And Ryan Dogman able to occupy that space, tuck it away, put his team up 1-0. That was something that for Orange County, just collective was the name of the game in that first 45. They did a great job of not only initiating attacks, but also reading the moments.
There's Dogman. That is not yet a celebratory water shower, but a long way to go here. This Oakland Roots team, I think Danny Stone put it really well. I don't know what we're going to see, but I know Oakland Roots, and therefore this is going to be a competitive game. In that sense, you always sort of know that the Roots are going to bring it. Gavin Glinton's side has only just begun. Glinton just finished an elongated chat with the fourth official. Hopefully peace has been made there. He's on a yellow card. The only player on a yellow is Tyler Gibson from the first half. It is a short bench tonight for Oakland, without Bravo, without Dom, without Hackshaw, without Peter Wilson, who was brought in to help at the number 9. So Mark Velashvili, Emmanuel Johnson, Wolfgang Prentice, and Ilya Alexeyev are the biggest names available for the Roots. Here and Saldana both got limited time last year, or 2 years ago in the case of Saldana. We'll see how deep Oakland looks to stride into their bench. No Mohamedou War nor Liam McKinnon tonight for Orange County, but Tristan Traeger could make his debut for the club. Roberto Molina as well. Usman Sillo comes in from Houston, highly recommended among the potential options tonight.
And for Oakland, Sinistera featured heavily in that first 45, but how do you get Armanakis? How do you get Tyler Gibson? Obviously, Tyler Gibson is in that position where he is a bit more of a disruptor defensively, but his ability to passing range and that ability to create plays.
Ball driven for goal in! Oh, that is an incredible goal! And Orange County has their second. Glorious finish into side netting. And Ethan Zubak brought in to be the goal scorer, maybe his most fantastic goal yet in Orange.
And we've spoke about the fluidity that Orange County has played with. That overlapping run, the interchangeability, the flexibility.
Dunbar took the shot and it looks like, yeah, there's the snap header indeed. So it did hit off Zubak.
And when you have those relationships, that the interchange, the flexibility on and off the ball to occupy different spaces, you get a lot of different movement. And you have that shot from Dunbar, but you have Ethan Zubak putting himself in a terrific position to just take the slightest of deflections past McIntosh. What a quick start for Orange County.
Orange County goals are presented by Hogue. Dogman. Denied. McIntosh. You can see Danny Stone up and applauding. Shot out of a cannon in this second half, Orange County.
Playing on the front foot is an understatement right now for Orange County SC. His first 3 minutes have just been absolutely electric. Their ability to be ruthless when that ball is played forward is something that they're going to want to continue, not only tonight, but through the rest of the season.
Orange smoke still billowing out. Ball across, skims through the penalty area and out the other side. So they announced the goal, by the way, in the venue to Cameron Dunbar, but they haven't seen what we've seen, or what Dunbar, I think, knew, but that Zubak certainly did, having taken that off the noggin. Zubak, 11 goals last year in 36 games, and grabs one early here. It's a big year, potentially, for Ethan Zubak. Still only 26. All the talk about some of the big-time strikers that have come through here in recent years, and he should get a good run out. This outruns Abdi Muhammad. Let's show you another look. For good measure, here's Dunbar bringing it past Njai.
Recognizing that there lacked support from Oakland Roots, and he was isolated 1-versus-1, and the ability to put it on that left foot. Zubak just lurking in that dangerous space.
Noting Bryce Jamison not available today, so there's even more attacking threat within this team. Playing through the Scooby-Doo smoke machine all across the face of goal. Appeal for a foul. It is a foul. It is outside the penalty area. Well, that can be tough to see through the orange haze.
Stare going through the back. Now puts Orange County in extremely positive position to test McIntosh. And you're still dealing with the smoke after that latest goal. So you not only having to fight the traffic that is the wall right in front of you. Can you get a clean look at this right off the foot?
Nico Benalcazar, 33 games at New York City, too. Spent last year with Cincinnati's MLS Next Pro team. If you're going to go at it with your right foot and try to curl this over the wall and past McIntosh, Benalcazar is your man. Smoke dissipating, but it may quickly return. Benalcazar, whip for goal and scored! Oh, wow! What a debut! And what a goal for Orange County! Dreamland at the Champ.
Mike, and you hear this time and time again, how difficult it is from that distance to get it up and down, not only just eluding the wall, but having to beat the goalkeeper as well. You have to be pinpoint, you have to get the pace right, you have to get the shape right. My goodness, is it? It's right over that wall, beating an outstretched Kendall McIntosh. You can see Danny Stone. This is the start to the second half they were looking for. They've just come out firing.
Welcome to the club, Nico. The fans will learn your name quick enough, I think. First look at Benalcazar, and it may give you a lump in your throat. Here they announced the first name and let the fans finish the job. And it was a bit haphazard for his first goal. Maybe they didn't anticipate the 23-year-old defender getting on the board quite so fast. 3 years at Wake Forest, only scored 4 goals. Certainly wasn't a major goal scorer at the next pro level. But a direct free kick just minutes after Dunbar knocked it off the head of Zubak, which, to be fair, is underselling Zubak substantially. And a pair of goals for Orange County out of halftime. It makes this a very unenviable hill to climb for the Roots. This got away from Gumar Eyes. Wrong-sided Sinistera, and this will get out over the line. You know, I don't know. There are statistics to back up that the teams that win week one are far more likely in the grand scheme to reach the playoffs, but more often than not, I imagine that there are some teams that are genuinely good and some that genuinely are not, and that shows week one. But on the whole, I don't think either of these teams feel like there's all that much in terms of the long-term implications, but you're trying to see where you can be in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. That's what every coach will tell you. And Orange County, at least from the day one, looks like a genuine threat.
I mean, you read off the names for both these clubs of players that are missing and that are soon to return. Again, it's going to be on both these teams to integrate those players and you know, off and running. As you point out, Orange County from the jump, from the first whistle, has looked dangerous in the attack, and it's a team that when you see them close out 2024, it was their defensive structure and their commitment to get behind the ball and make it so difficult for teams to score that really showcased itself. Now you bring in some of the attacking pieces, but you continue to layer in the other aspects with the pieces that you have returning.
Double change here for Oakland. It'll be a club debut for EJ. Emmanuel Johnson spent last year in Pittsburgh, fell out of favor at the end of the season. And Wolfgang Prentice will enter as well. End of the night for Ali Al-Masnawi. Just his second championship start. Certainly active. Rasmussen comes off well, who's playing much higher than perhaps he typically does. But, you know, I want to go back to that because you mentioned the end of last year. 7 clean sheets in the last 10 games. I remember talking to Danny Stone coming out of that first game that he coached for the club. It was in Las Vegas, a city he had lived in for 5 years as a youth coach. They dropped that game, and they had a bye week coming out of it. Subs are brought to you by MetaQuip. All comes centrally in Oakland, able to hook this out toward Scott. I remember him saying, look, guys, it is an 8-game season now. They had struggled so much. Morgan Carlson left them in a fairly good place, but really banged up. And Paul Hardiman, great servant to the club, had such a role as an assistant, genuinely much appreciated guy within this coaching staff, but it just wasn't working, and I don't think the injuries helped. But Danny Stone was able to get everybody to buy in. And he said, you can change all the tactics you want, but if they aren't bought into your process, those tactics are meaningless. And he felt like he got that. And they finished on a 5-win, 1-loss, 3-draw run under his tutelage from the end of August to ultimately the Western Conference semifinal. Free kick here for Oakland, and if they can get one soon, suddenly this will feel like a potential USL After Dark effort. That's an extended foot and one that draws Ekaterina Koroleva's whistle. And a chance for us to tell you that Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier, the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com. Latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. And this an overambitious step. It is really early for Johnson. He's going to get a yellow card, and he's saying, that's the first thing I did since coming into the game.
And this is going to be where we see possible adjustment for Oakland in terms of the way and the manner that they press, trying to win possession higher up the field. You've got to make some sort of presence going forward because you're down 3-0. To your point earlier with the free kick, you need one back soon. Really pull within 2 and make this a manageable rest of the match, and can't fault the effort of E.J. Johnson.
Well, whether or not it made the official all that happy is somewhat irrelevant. I have to imagine the bench is saying, okay, there's the energy that we saw brought into the team back in February. That's the first card to an Orange County player, and it's going to be Haggard. Goes into the book. He re-signed in January with the club, played 16 games with the group last year.
Good explosiveness by Sinistera, and you can see that little tug of the jersey. Earns Haggard the yellow.
Haggard from down in San Diego. He's had quite a nomadic career, which included time prior to arriving in Orange County at Staubach, club famously once managed by Bob Bradley.
Nine appearances for them until coming to Orange County on loan. And we talked about the new additions, but obviously he was a key player to retain Danny Stone in this organization.
Yeah, loans can be rather transient in this league, where it's great that you had him for 15 games, but you may never see him again. And luckily they're able to get something done here with Chris Haggard, keep him around. Bogman leads it forward. Here is Scott. The frustration's piling up here for Oakland. Danny Gomez only got 3 cards all of last season, picks one up for dissent.
Yeah, wasn't sure he was going to pick up a yellow until the reaction here. Clips the back of Dunbar, and it's that reaction after the call. And I know this is obviously a tough task for Oakland right now, but this is where, you know, you really show that collective character and try to grow from some of these moments. Learn to problem solve. You want to collaborate. You want to be together in how you solve what's in front of you. And right now, it's for Oakland, it's got to be about pulling one back.
There's no 3-point shot in this game. Well, I take that back. There are shots that lead to 3 points, but there isn't a 3-goal shot. I think I've dipped too deep in the weeds.
I was going to say, please expand on.
This ball allowed through and back toward Riley. The offside flag was up, so free kick here for McIntosh in Oakland rather than having to continue to defend. You know, you think about Oakland, there's some, I mentioned it earlier, a lot of movement in this team. And, you know, I think one thing that listening to Gavin Glinton gives me a lot of optimism is they figured this out, and they knew it was going to take a little bit of time. If you look at their bench, you can see just how depleted they are. Spent a week in Mexico, great experience. You know, Gavin Glinton made it clear there are like 15 million, his estimate, not mine, side conversations going on. How do we solve problems? How do we manage different shapes, different threats, different problems? I also think one thing they did on that Mexico trip that really stood out to me, and I think it did you as well, was that he had players room not with their friends where maybe you create cliques, which I think there was a feeling was a bit pervasive within the Roots last year. Instead, he put you with the player you're most in direct competition with. And, you know, that can go one of two ways. He felt like it went the right way, thankfully.
It is. He felt like his team really embraced that competition. And some of the best teams that I've been a part of, coached, played with, seen from the outside are teams that celebrate each other. And that's something that with any sport, you win and lose jobs. I mean, you play that sport knowing that. And I think that move from Gavin Blinton and his coaching staff can really pay dividends as you see this team.
Whoa! Header hits off of McIntosh in the bar. That hung up for an eternity. Came out with plenty of juice.
Almost out of nowhere came out, won that header.
There was only one player that had a read on that. I think that was Dunbar coming off the right.
Danny Stone, you see him on the sideline a lot, clapping in terms of some of the ideas. They might not come off. There was one called offside just a few moments ago, but he's got to be enjoying the overall movement and the vision of what his team is seeing, the fluidity. I keep using that word because it just looks comfortable to them. And defensively, they're getting good numbers behind the ball. They're executing at a high level.
All won by Johnson. Let's have another look at that genuine chance here for Orange County.
As you mentioned, this ball just hangs up there, and Dunbar just absolutely exploding into this space, and I'm sure Najai knew that he was right behind him.
And this may be the end of the night for him too at 65 minutes. We talk about explosive leaping ability. I think maybe the best example that was on this team in recent years was Thomas Among, who's no longer with the club, among the outgoing players this past offseason, to the point that he actually got flipped over in midair, and a guy who isn't blessed with great God-given height clipped his heels off the crossbar in a game late last season. And I don't know exactly how high up Cameron Dunbar just got, but might be close to, well, Among territory. So they're going to work on that thigh muscle here. And two changes are waiting to come in, including Tristan Traeger. Comes in from Monterey, and it looks like Usman Silla come in as well. That is a domineering tackle and one that draws a yellow. And Benalcazar, who scored a stunner of a free kick in the 52nd minute, adds a booking.
And a bit needless because your team is owning momentum. They're playing front-footed. Going to a tackle against E.J. Johnson. Now you're setting up a free kick for Oakland that is going to grasp onto any opportunity to get numbers forward, to put a ball in the box that asks something of Colin Shuttler that really hasn't had to come up with any big saves thus far. It does not look like he's going to be able to continue. And
it's possible he looked over at the sideline and knew his time was out anyways. Traeger can play as a 10, and goodness can he play as a winger. He is quick, cutting movement, dynamic. Dunbar still officially is being credited with the goal, although I'm fairly assured it's going to belong to Ethan Zubak when it's done. But his shot in the 47th minute had Orange County flying out of halftime. Got by Njai. There's the touch by. Brilliant start to the half.
Major impact on this match. Was involved in the first goal as well, isolated that 1v1, slipped that ball into the 18-yard box. Ended with Ryan Dogman. That back post space, you just gotta hope that it's nothing that keeps him out long term.
Substitutions brought to you by MetaQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks. Armanakis service comes right back out to Sinistera. Johnson, hopefully it is a short setback for Dunbar. And it has officially been changed to a Dunbar assist and a Zubac goal. So credit to our friends at Stats Perform. They're with us for yet another year. The artist formerly known as Opta. Shuttler getting fancy. You think back to where Danny Stone was last year, leading a Phoenix Rising team after Juan Guerra had helped them win the title with Stone as his lead assistant. Guerra leaves late in the offseason to become the head assistant for Houston Dynamo under Benny Olsen. So in steps Danny Stone. He doesn't essentially have his right hand because that would have been him. The club saw enormous changes over that offseason. Doesn't have a head of sport performance in the country yet. So really from the beginning, it was always a tough ask. He's out mid-season, hired weeks later as an assistant for Orange County under Paul Hardiman. And 2 months after he was let go in Phoenix, he was the head coach in Orange County. Actually beat Phoenix later in the season as the Orange County head coach. Here's Prentice. Prentice scores for Oakland. And with 20 minutes to go, Oakland's got something to hang their hat on. The traveling support appreciative. Is this the beginning of a remarkable comeback? And that is his first championship goal.
And the response that Gavin Glinton and his team were looking for, a spectacular ball played out by Panos Armanakis onto the running Wolfgang Prentice. There was still a lot of work to be done after that ball was played, and finish past Colin Shuttler. This is going to be something that, does this inject the energy and that ability to find those transition moments, because that was a quick strike from Oakland Roots. It's still plenty of time. You get a goal in the next 10 or 15 minutes. I mean,
game on.
Yeah.
Prentice 2 years at Cal State Northridge. After coming out of the Galaxy Academy, he actually trialed for Orange County in 2021. Here's Prentice slipping through. This will get out for a goal kick. He landed, however, unfortunately, I suppose, in Nisa with San Diego 1904. Goal in 16 games there. Trialed in Oakland in 2022, ended up signing on, but loaned out to Northern Colorado and Madison over the last 3 years. Prentice scored 3 in 21 games for the Flamingos last year. 24-year-old from Redondo Beach. And you have to think a very satisfying goal to score here in Orange County on a number of levels. Njai puts his body in. This comes back to Riley, and Oakland suddenly, it's moving a little faster.
It does. The tempo and pace has picked up quite a bit. That.
Sinistera got it from Armanakis, who's one of the most clever players in the league, and he'll tell you that. Sinistera, you see that competitive streak, he won a free kick. And I think back, you said, why did you commit that foul on Emmanuel Johnson? You had everything going your way about 5 minutes ago. And since that moment, Oakland more than in this game.
You could just see the presence of Oakland, the pressing, the commitment to be supportive there as well. No outlets for Orange County. They earn a dangerous free kick. Goodness, if they put this right in the mix.
It could be pandemonium in no time. About a quarter hour to play on opening night. Sinistera is also going to stand right behind the wall. Could be an option. Floated into the mixer. First ball's away. Sinistera is waiting for it. The run out is on for Orange County, but it's cut off. This overcooked. Looking for Armanakis back in the corner. Oakland has never, even going back to their time in Nisa, they've never won opening day in back-to-back years. That's it for Sinistera. Ilya Alexeyev comes on for him. 2 goals in 16 games. He scored in March against Charleston last year, then in June against bottom of the league El Paso. A Project 510, 19-year-old from Pleasanton, California. Subs are brought to you by MetaQuip. One window remaining for Oakland. Johnson chasing at Shuttler. Got over Gibson, but Alexeyev is there. Muhammad. Lansing header comes high. Armanakis. Johnson well bracketed. Here's Armanakis again. Started last year in Phoenix. Certainly a big fallout between the club and Armanakis. Finished the year in Memphis, who ended up folding over the offseason, granting their franchise rights to an ownership group in California. Which is to say, yes, there is another championship club coming to California. New League One team, Alta in Lancaster, California. We'll get our first look at in the Open Cup in about a week and a half, and the Jägermeister Cup for a lot of championship fans that maybe don't dip their toe in the League One water often enough. Actually took over the old Lancaster Jethawks ballpark after minor league baseball took the franchise away. Ball played early here for Orange County.
I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about teams playing in ballparks, and obviously
but like, look at what Las Vegas did with Cashman with the right touch.
Yep.
I'm anti playing in a ballpark unless you end up doing what the Rowdies did or what Las Vegas did. Truly make it your own.
Yep, and that's what I was. There's a uniqueness when you do convert it to something that, to your point, it makes it your own. And
that's what Oakland's going to do at the Coliseum. Yeah. Yeah, I've already seen some pictures of the grass laid out. It is going to be spectacular at the Coliseum. Can't watch the match? You can turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. On Tuesdays, plus live matches, USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. SiriusXM FC 157, and on the still new SiriusXM app. Riley. That sneaks away. Neil Collins, the new head coach in Sacramento, was the guest last week on All Access. It's also available on the USL YouTube page. That had to be maybe the biggest shock of the offseason you could say Vegas seeing Dennis Sanchez go to New Mexico was it, but Mark Briggs out in Sacramento after such a tremendous run there with the Republic. Dealt with so many injuries last year, but took them to the Open Cup final 2 years ago. Ball in again here for Oakland. And they still have numbers forward off the set piece. A gamble they're willing to take. Flying into the penalty area. This knocked down. Riley tried to keep it alive. And Gomez foul. And you can see the hair-banded Kyle Scott saying, shouldn't that be a yellow? That'd be a second yellow for Gomez, but I think that'd be a little unfortunate if they actually gave it.
This is going to be where Orange County, I was going to say take the air out of the ball, but they went to play quick, and now a quick turnover.
Yep, pay a price for it. Alexieve. That's a foul. That's only a yellow. There have been some wild tackles tonight. And Scott goes into the book.
You just wonder what the argument is from Kyle Scott. I mean, tries to cover the ground after misplaying that free kick, going before his own teammate is prepared to receive the ball, and that yellow. And again, Orange County having to deal with a dangerous free kick, and they're not in the clear just yet. I mean, you still have plenty of time if you're Oakland Roots. But you can just see, I mean, you talk to coaches throughout the season from match to match, and they always talk about winning the defining moments, winning moments that really come to shape matches, and that's where, yeah, you don't say goals change games, but the timeliness of some of those goals come to define them. And the goal from Oakland has really injected a lot of energy, but Orange County, the way they started this second half, put this match not necessarily out of reach, but it's put it in an area where Oakland's got to start.
Yeah, you got to push now.
Yeah, you got to push some numbers forward. You see Camden Riley playing a little higher up the field. I mean, you've got to let loose just a bit more in terms of the numbers that you're committing. But a free kick like this is prime opportunity to do just that.
Kevin Partita was the injured Orange County player, and so he slow walks off the field. Ashton Miles, 20-year-old that started 18 games at center back last year, along with native of El Salvador who was raised in North Hollywood, UC Irvine for 2 seasons, time in Vegas, Indy, and last year, unfortunately, in Miami. Subs are brought to you by MetaQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks. Roberto Molina enters the game for Orange County, alongside Ashton Miles. A couple guys with ties here to SoCal. Ball across, dealt with. Still work to be done. Prentice gets beneath it. Prentice spins, fires in across. So Hagar come off as well. He was on a yellow card. That's 4 subs in the books in 2 moments for Orange County. 3 subs over 2 moments for Oakland. And based on what's left on each bench, I don't know that they'll go any deeper than that unless required. Ben Barjolo and Danny Garcia, the available field players. Garcia just signed an academy deal yesterday, 17-year-old defender from here in Orange County. Barjolo only played 46 minutes, 8 games last year. Did play the last 3 games of the season. Silla beneath it. And Scott pitchforks into the width.
This previous 20, 25 minutes is going to be something that Gavin Blinton is going to want to showcase, because you got good pressure on the back line of Orange County, and that pressure was sustained through the phases of play, and that's where you can, if you can win the ball higher up the field, you give yourself a good chance of being in proper positions and having that ability for the freedom and the interchangeability that you're looking for in the attack. And it's something where they have been very front-footed, not only on the ball, but the way they've approached putting Orange County in pressure where it is warranted and where you can really put them in some difficult situations.
Comes down to Shuttler. He's in no man's land. Ball in behind. Riley still has to deal with that. Somehow he did. Keeper backs in. Chipped in front of goal! And comes down to McIntosh with the right touch. That's the dagger. Not to be.
This ball held up well.
Silla, wow. Really put it right on Molina.
And that's another attacking presence that you just don't, you know the talent with Silla, and you're excited to see what this season can produce. And that's where here early on in the season, and that is a clever ball in behind, and as you said, right on the foot of Molina. Mac Herman Trophy winner.
Two-time national champion Silla at Clemson. 7 goals in 24 games last year. I talked to Benny Olsen, the Houston coach, during the Open Cup, and he said he confirmed in preseason pretty quick at second-round draft pick. This to the near post. Took a deflection that finds goalkeeper Shuttler. They shut the door for a moment. Said pretty quickly realized why he was drafted in the first place. Take a look at some of the heavy tackles. This is game one. This is, I'm tired of hitting guys in my same colored shirt.
Yeah, when you have the preseason games, the inter-squad matches that you have, and you finally can play an opponent other than yourselves, training. These are the tackles that we've seen throughout. Tyler Gibson got us started off really early, picking up that yellow card. And then that latest one from Kyle Scott.
Armanakis returns. Alex Eve now. Danny Stone did tell us 7 weeks is a long time. Yeah. Said these guys are ready to go fight for 3 points. And they are just about 3 minutes away from stoppage time and potentially attaining that goal. Ball in here to Prentice. Settles in the area, circles back. Whips the cross through, caught by Shuttler.
Prentice has been a bright spot since coming on. Ability to extend that space in front of him. Positive outlook as soon as possession's regained. He's looking forward, he's looking for ways to expose the opponent, whether that's vertically or in hold-up play. He's linked up really well with Panos Armanakis.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to. You can have a lot of ideas in preseason, but until the shrapnel really starts flying, there is Gagi Margvelashvili alongside Luis Saldana. This is such a cool moment for Saldana. He'll come on in a moment. This ekes out over the line. It'll be a corner. Gagi, the 6'4" center back coming. Yeah, they're going to make the change now. Keep your eye on 48 for a moment. Came through the Republic under-17s into Project 510. Appeared in 5 games late in 2023, but an ACL injury kept him out last year. He worked his way back in with Project 510. And Saldana will turn 21 years old in a couple of hours. And he makes his way back into the pro game right here, right now. And Mark Velashvili started 25 games last year, comes in as well. Shuttler, that seemed to carry on him. He's able to get a punch to it. So welcome back Luis Saldana to the championship. The beer isn't on me, but maybe Gnarly can get you one for your 21st birthday.
Gnarly seems to have to do something productive.
Yeah. Back into the box, and Orange County deflect back out to McIntosh. McIntosh was at the halfway line. Pick your head up, and maybe you can have a go from the halfway line. Instead, McIntosh recovered, and the slip ball ahead. Orange County can end it right here. Here's Zubak. Zubak playing through, flicked up into the air and away. Silla. And we'll enter stoppage time with Orange County playing with a 2-goal cushion.
Yeah, if you're Orange County, you have to feel like you've done enough to continue to see this game out.
Stoppage time presented by Zolfagari Law Firm. We'll go another 5. Silla, 3v3 in the back. Silla wide, options percolating centrally. Blasted in frame! What an exclamation point! Scott inserts the dagger!
And this just sums up what Orange County has continued to look like tonight in the attacking third. The ability, the activity, the interchangeability, it's all been there and it's all showcased itself. Silla starts this play and you just see the movement, the ability for Kyle Scott to hunt that space right in front. And it's one thing to occupy the space and another to connect and convert the opportunity. That is the exclamation point to what has been an electric night for Orange County SC.
Ben Bargiolo in off the bench, the 5th and final change for Orange County. Zubak's night concludes. Does get a goal on opening night. Subs brought to you by MetaQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks. Johnson went down, pointing, penalty. Or is it outside the area? There's the gesture to the spot. Not done yet. Yeah, there's the gesture to the spot. So Oakland will have a chance to gain one back here, maybe. Mark Velashvili playing through to Johnson.
Johnson has been persistent since coming on. He picked up that early yellow card from the pressure he was putting on the back line. He has continued to sit in different spaces, ask different questions, play within those 3 channels.
This will be Babakar Njai. Any hope at all of turning this thing into a point requires this. Njai will try and open his scoring account in 2025. Njai sends Shuttler the wrong way. So Shuttler coming to blows with Johnson. They've separated. And every second that goes on is to Oakland's benefit.
There's that ball played in. Johnson earning the penalty, and then deceptive approach to this penalty. Calmly tucks it away. See the reaction here at the end. Colin Shuttler kicks that ball in the air, and
Oakland did not take kindly to that. And these sides will see each other again. Their whole season series is going to be decided in 6 weeks. They'll meet again on April 19th, and then not again unless the Open Cup or the playoffs intervene.
And if there's going to be any disappointment from Danny Stone and his coaching staff, it's going to be the 2 goals conceded. For Gavin Glinton, it's going to be about how do you convert some of these bright moments into consistency, and that was kind of the...
This falls for Johnson, and if he had gotten around on that, we could be having a very different chat.
Yes, how quickly things can change.
Option percolating high, but they won't be able to find Silla. You would think if Oakland can bottle the last 30 minutes and play that, they'll win a lot of games this year.
100%, and I think that's going to be where Gavin Glinton, the leadership amongst this team, obviously we talk about Kai Green, Tyler Gibson, that group, getting this team together and understanding that. And it's, you know, you mentioned Gavin Glinton being pleased with the side conversations in training. Those are things that are going to be talked about already, and point, if they can just find some of that sustainability, that consistency within those moments and that time frame, they're going to do very well.
Approaching 6 minutes played, there was a penalty in this time. It is a corner in front of the County Line Coalition, and Orange County can see the rest of the sand through the hourglass on this city side fiber corner kick. Scott, the finishing touch. The ultimate game winner is going to be that majestic free kick, Nico Benalcazar. And that's it, it's full time. Orange County wins their home opener in 2025. Some extraordinary goals. And Danny Stone, interim no longer, opens with a victory in 2025. The final 4 goals to 2.
And obviously Danny Stone pleased with the result, but he's going to be pleased with what he saw from his team in the attacking third, how dynamic it was and how collective it was. And for Gavin Glinton and Oakland Roots, and they're going to build off of some of the positives that you saw in that final 30 minutes or so. That goal from Prentice that really set the momentum and tilted a bit of the field towards the end. They're going to want to build off and stack those performances.
Tonight's man of the match is the number 9 of whom so much is expected, Ethan Zubak. It's presented by Taqueria Oi. Dunbar does all the dirty work. Dunbar the redirection. Make that the Zubak the redirection.
And the slightest of touches by Ethan Zubak. He led this team in goals last season. Those dangerous areas to occupy, saw the play develop, put himself right in a position where he was driving the front of that goal in front of Kendall McIntosh. And what a performance overall from Orange County.
And Zubak and Orange County will celebrate a season opening win tonight. That long wait, that extended preseason sees Orange County raring to go from the start. Great goals, including that stunner from Benalcazar. Full-time score brought to you by Raising Cane's. We wrap it up after this. welcome back to Irvine and Championship Soccer Stadium. Final score brought to you by Raising Cane's, the official chicken fingers of Orange County SC. Gnarly's like, get me those chicken fingers. 4-2 OCSC win over the Roots. Mike Watts, Eric Dobransky to wrap this up. Here come the highlights. At full time, Orange County off and running 11 minutes into the season. They had a great chance. It was the 28th minute that they would find the opening goal, and it all started from the goalkeeper, Shuttler. Yeah, and I continue to use the word collective performance from Orange County, and it starts with a goal that starts with Colin Shuttler, the goalkeeper. And Dunbar, 1v1 ability, ball comes across, and then Ryan Dogvin does the rest, puts this team up 1-0, and they had created a couple other chances. Ethan Zubak had a couple half chances on that left foot inside the box, just unable to convert. They went into the break up 1-0, but my goodness, they came out flying in this second half. I mean, just absolutely electric stuff. The ability to get the numbers in the box, but also read and recognize where that dangerous space is, and that left foot. Cameron Dunbar drives this ball across, and then Ethan Zubak just gets that slightest touch past Kendall McIntosh. And just a few moments later, I mean, what ends up proving to be the game winner, this free kick up and over the wall, and you hit it with the pace to beat the goalkeeper. Benalcazar's first goal for the club, debut goal at that. Full-time highlights brought to you by Omega Accounting. Oakland, they still felt like they had a hand in this game. And this was something that we saw as Wolfgang Prentice made his introduction into the match, is the combination of Armanakis and Prentice. That ball played in, ability to drive at that end line but bring it back on the right foot, beats Colin Shuttler. They just continued to find some moments, Orange County did. Space to in front of the back line. Silla, ball played out wide, and then Kyle Scott just sitting at the top of the 18. One time, the shape, the power behind that finish puts his team up 3-1, but Oakland kept playing, and E.J. Johnson, another sub that came on and made a difference. The way he pressed, the way he sat on that Orange County back line, earns this penalty, and converts, makes this a 4-2 match. Njai opening his goal-scoring account, but it would not be enough as Orange County wins it 4-2. Full-time stats are presented by Hogue. Orange County, 60% of the ball, the majority of the shots. I think a deserved win. Not a perfect way of closing it out, but that's something you can take and move forward with 3 points. Yeah, and that's going to be something where Danny Stone and his group are going to try to remedy going into the next match. But I mean, you score 4 goals on 7 shots on target. You talk about efficiency. That is something that's going to be striking for them and for Oakland Roots. You didn't expect the possession to necessarily be in their favor, but they definitely found some moments in transition that were extremely dangerous. So Orange County will welcome Lexington, who won their championship debut this weekend, next Saturday, March 15th, 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets, orangecountysc.com. Meanwhile, Oakland will go away on the road to Monterey Bay, and then finally get to the Coliseum, home sweet home, against San Antonio on March 22nd. Final score brought to you by Raising Cane's. For Eric Dobransky, our entire team in OC and beyond, Mike Watts saying thanks for watching. Orange County wins it 4-2. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.